to refuse to go on terminal leave. And in fact, we are reliably informed that they are angling for a possible extension of their term, which we know is illegal and unconstitutional. But before we get there, it's important to point out that the IEBC, and by extension the Ruto administration, the IEBC under Wafula Chebukati, and by extension the Ruto administration, are under an obligation to observe the rule of law. We cannot countenance a situation where public officers, civil servants, are being victimized arbitrarily for no apparent reason, but simply because they have been able to discharge their duties fairly and transparently and impartially. That is the crime Madam Kulundu has committed, discharging her duties and responsibilities impartially and fairly, as is expected of her by the Constitution and the relevant statutes. So you want to caution, indeed warn, the IEBC under Chebukati and the Ruto administration that they must move with speed and rescind this decision, this outrightly illegal decision of interdicting Madam Kulundu. Rescind it immediately, restore her benefits, restore her mandate, and allow her to proceed with her work. Failure to which, we are giving them actually 48 hours. Failure to which we shall initiate some unspecified action as of now, but action which will eventually compel them, all of them, to abide by the law. We shall, of course, address the specifics of those actions at the right time. But finally, before my colleagues weigh in, we are aware that Chebukati and his two fellow commissioners have embarked on what we could refer to as premature boundaries delineation. Few days before they proceed on their terminal leave. And this they are doing at the exclusion of the other four commissioners. So the question we are asking is, what is the hurry for? And yet we have got 5 years to the next election. That you can't wait for the next set of commissioners who will come to replace these three, together with the other four, to continue with that very crucial exercise. Why are you rushing to start a process which you won't complete? Because we are going home anyway in the next few days. Chebukati and Molu and Gulie. Listen to us. You are going home. And if you refuse to go home, we shall take you home. Yes. Yeah. If you dare refuse to go home at the end of your contractual terms, the people of Kenya will push you home. And don't take us that direction. So that exercise of delineating boundaries must stop forthwith. Must stop forthwith. And the three musketeers, let me call them so, Chebukati, Gulie, and Boya Molu, must proceed on terminal leave now, not wait for 17th of October. Because they are causing serious problems in the commission, they are causing serious disaffection in the public service, and they are essentially causing a situation which can result into public and civil unrest. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, who is next?
Yes. First of all, I'd like to say that, Chebukati has to note, and the IEBC and the Supreme Court, that even though we accepted the ruling and the results, eventually.
Right, definitely. There is the Azimio presser definitely happening at the Safari Park Hotel. We'll be giving you the details in our subsequent bulletins, 7 and 9. To some sad news now. And 4 people have escaped unhurt after a light aircraft crash landed at the Nairobi National Park on Wednesday mid-morning. According to Langata OCPD Monica Kimani, the plane's engine failed shortly after takeoff from Wilson Airport in Nairobi. The light aircraft, Assassina registration number 5YBWE, crash-landed at the Nairobi National Park, meters away from the southern bypass. None of those aboard the plane at the time of incident has been injured, and they have been airlifted by the Kenya Wildlife Service, KWS, and taken to Wilson Airport for medical checkup. The occupants included 3 trainees and the captain. Now to a story that we are keeping radar on, that is basically the election of the county speakers and the deputies, and also the swearing in of the members of the county assembly. Now, a total of 86 members of the county assembly of Kiambu County have taken an oath of office, and the election process of the assembly speaker is continuing, where 5 candidates are contesting the seat. The ceremony is led by Kiambu County Assembly Clerk John Mutie. Now, Kiambu Governor Kimani Wamatangi, Senator Karungo, Thangwa County Women Representative Anne Wamuthara, and Gatundu North Member of Parliament Njoroge Kururia and other national government officials are in attendance. Let's cross over live and listen in to what is happening.
Honorable Wanjiko Smart Kungu, Honorable Ruth Waithira. David Mwaura. Honorable Wanjiro Francis Koina.
Right, definitely that is in Kiambu County Assembly, where the voting process is, rather not the voting process, but then the counting process of the candidates for the County Assembly Speaker and the Deputy is ongoing. We'll be definitely giving you finer details as it unfolds. Now to still on the same, Kisii County has fully prepared for the swearing in of 45 elected MCAs, 26 nominated, and the election of the 3rd Assembly Speaker. Speaking to the press at his office in the premises of the Assembly, Kisii County Assembly Clerk James Nyaoga said the ceremony will kick off tomorrow at 9 a.m. in the morning. Nyaoga said there were 14 applicants for the speakership position out of the 28 that picked nomination papers, and there was a committee in place to vet them. Nyaoga noted that the House had complied with the constitutional requirement of nominating a person with a disability to represent persons with disabilities.
And all preparations are in place. In fact, we are just waiting for the day so that we also elect Speaker who will run the county assembly for the next 5 years. And so far we have 14 applicants. We have a committee in place to vet them. A record number of 28 people picked nomination papers.
And on the same page now in Machakos County, Anne Mwikali Kisii is the new County Assembly Speaker after she was voted unanimously by the members of the County Assembly. The renowned lawyer, who was fronted by the dominant Ukambani Party Wiper, mobilized well troops from all the parties to give her victory as the third Assembly's Speaker. She trounced her closest competitor from Maendeleo Chop lawyer Bernard Mungata after garnering 51 votes against him, who only managed to get 9 votes. The contest attracted 6 candidates, including Festus Mwema, Lukoya Charles, Mwenyewa Benjamin, and Mutuku Lillian, who didn't manage to garner any vote.
Divided. I want us to have unity, and I want us to work for the betterment of people.
Yes, I'm truly excited. You know, as a first time ever to be elected. When I came here, we were just elected. Machakos, 2 women were elected. So getting to see that there's the sadness part of it, that wow, we only 2 women, but seeing we have a female governor, we have a female speaker, it shows that, you know, we are believing in women more.
Now to a low tone in the political scenes. Former Kinango Member of Parliament Simeon Mwero Mkala has died aged 74. Mkala, who served as Member of Parliament from 1997 to 2002, was yesterday buried at his Matumbi home in Kinango, Kwale County. After he died on Sunday evening, he is one of the powerful Moi-era politicians and served as Kanu Chief Whip during the 8th Parliament. Mr. Mkala also served as Kenya Ports Authority KPA Managing Director between July 1994 and January 1996. He was last in active politics in 2017 when he unsuccessfully vied for Kwale governorship as running mate for Dr. Isa Chipera of ODM. He had vied for governorship in 2013 but lost.
Alipomaliza akashindwa na gonzi rai na akarudi nyumbani. Yeye aliugua karibu miaka 3 iliyopita, japokuwa ilikuwa ugonjwa wake si mkubwa, lakini alikuwa na kitu kama stroke ambayo ilimkujia kwa sababu ya pressure na sukari. Akawa mgonjwa miaka hiyo, mara ugonjwa umezidi anapelekwa hospitali, lakini miezi 3-4 iliyopita ndio akawa amezidiwa. Mara anaregeshwa hospitali, mara anatolewa, anaregeshwa hospitali, anaregeshwa mpaka mwisho jana kama saa 10 hivi akashindwa.
Namtambua sana Mheshimiwa Mkala, na amesema nipatie familia risala zao zake za rambirambi. Kwa hivyo jamii ya Kinango wanamtambua sana Rais William Ruto kwa ile kazi na juhudi ambayo walifanya pamoja na Mheshimiwa Mkala. Kwa hivyo kwa niaba ya serikali tunasema pole sana wananchi wa Kinango kwa kumpoteza Mheshimiwa Mkala.
Mwenzake akiwa ni governor, alikuwa ataka nafasi ya governor Dr. Chipera, yeye akawa ni deputy wake kama wa tikiti ya ODM, lakini hakufaulu, lakini ni mtu ambaye alitusaidia sana sisi wana ODM.
Now to some agricultural matters, and farmers from Kisii County are among the first beneficiaries of the fertilizer subsidy. This is in line with President William Ruto's directive for the National Treasury to release 3.6 billion Kenyan shillings for subsidized fertilizer. The residents have expressed their satisfaction by the move, saying that it will improve their produce in the agricultural sector.
Kwa sababu ile mbolea ya bei ya juu imetumisa kiasi kubwa ya kwamba wengine hata atupani na mbolea, na bila mbolea hakuna mafuno.
Hii mbolea nikichukua nikipalilia mahindi yangu, nikipanda mahindi yangu vizuri, nikitumia hii mbolea itanisaidia kuzalisha mahindi mingi, ile ambayo itanisaidia hata mimi niuze nipate school fees ya watoto.
Kwa sababu hivi sasa baada ya huu mwezi inatakikana sasa tuwekee mbolea ya CN. Ikiwezekana baada ya wiki 2-3 serikali iweze kutusaidia kuleta hizo mbolea za CN, itakuwa vizuri tena zaidi.
Meanwhile, Kiambu residents had earlier today paralyzed transport along the Nairobi-Nakuru highway after blocking a section of the road, citing rampant and increased road accidents in the area, where several people have lost their lives in the stretch from Gitaru to Rironi since its construction was completed. The residents, some of who are mourners, are now calling upon the government to erect bumps as a temporary solution as they await the contractor to finish the project and build footbridges.
Try to complain to the contractor to construct or to erect speed bumps to slow down the vehicles because they are driving at a very high speed and the road is very wide. The contractor has been claiming that they cannot erect speed bumps on highway, but we are saying, even in Thika Road, as it were, they erected speed bumps until the time they constructed footbridges. So this road has become a menace, a killer. So many people have lost their lives, others are in hospital with permanent injuries.
Tumepoteza watu zaidi ya 50 kwa hii stretch kutoka pale juu hadi pale chini. Na hiyo ndo manake tumeandamana ndio tuulize our current MP aweze kupeleka bunge mashida zetu, aende bunge aweze kutuongelelea kuhusu hii barabara na aulize funding za hii barabara zitatolewa lini, juu tunataka zitolewe as soon as possible ndio hii barabara iweze kukamilika.
Hivyo tunalilia serikali itusikize, at least waweke bump. Hao watoto wetu wameisha, hii area ya Mugoga watoto wameisha.
So tunaomba serikali iliyopo chini saa hii yenye tulitauliwa juzi imalizie contractor pesa zake ndio amalize barabara. Tunataka flyovers, tunataka stairs na mahali pa watu kuvukia na zebra crossings.
Some education matters now. The Union of Alternative Providers of Basic Education in the country, UPBET, say scrapping off the competency-based curriculum will be a huge mistake. The education stakeholders say that what needs to be done is amending issues affecting the delivery of the new curriculum. Speaking in Kisumu, the chair of the union, Moses Wokono, says CBC has enabled talented children to shine and they expect the president to include them in the task force yet to be set that will look into the issues bedeviling the new curriculum. Meanwhile, the union wants the Ministry of Education to recognize their existence and enable registration of UPBET learning institutions as they provide education to the vulnerable learners.
There are about 100 UPBET schools here, and they are safe. We are doing bigger. The near neighboring school for that. And
we are happy that actually the new government is willing to support CBC and subjected to a task force for review of some areas. But I'm also keen to say that as the conversation goes on, we need as stakeholders in the AFPET, in the slum schools, to be involved. One, because we want CBC to continue in our schools, because it is the only way that we can be able to tap the talents and the skills of these learners, that actually they can be able to take care of themselves in the future when they graduate.
As a government, we are requesting if you would support these UPBET schools, because we are doing a major role taking care of poor and vulnerable children. So it's our request from the CS and all that if you can help us on registration, that would help UPBET schools.
Again, in record and in books that UPBET are there. It is in books and in record that we have candidates for grade 6 and grade 7, grade 8 in UPBET schools and form 4. Kama wanataka kufunga hizo mashule wafunge saa hii, watoto wao na waende.
The National Cohesion and Integration, in collaboration with Haki Africa and the Dutch government, have today held an Undugu Peace and Cohesion Awards ceremony to commemorate the International Peace Day. Speaking during the event in Mombasa, the NCIC chairman, Reverend Dr. Samuel Kopia, has commended Kenyans for embracing peace and tolerance during the just concluded general election. According to Dr. Kopia, democracy in Kenya is maturing, and as a result, political decency and accountability has been witnessed.
Our theme is end racism and build peace. So first I want to congratulate the youths around Mombasa for doing the best and ensuring that we didn't have hatukuwa na vurugu, hatukuwa na vitu ambazo hazistahili, vita, kueneza tukose amani katika Mombasa yetu. So I am so happy, I'm so humbled that the peace activities that we did before elections made the environment and Mombasa at large to have a peaceful election and ensure that everybody settled home na kuensure kila kitu ilikuwa sawa. On today's activity today, as we are embracing International Peace Day, I want to urge all the youth and all Kenyans to be human rights defenders and human rights champions, so that today, as we make the goal of end racism, wherever you go, ensure that everywhere you don't discriminate anyone, don't use racism, to ensure that you put them in everything that you do.
Macho yote Kenya yanaangalia Mombasa kusikia yale ambayo yatafanyika, lakini kwa uwezo wa Mwenyezi Mungu leo tunasema Mungu ni mwema, anajibu maombi, ametufanikisha na tuko na furaha sana. Tunaposherehekea leo tunatambua tu kwa Mungu ya kwamba yale wanadamu wanaweza tabiri juu yetu, Mungu anaweza kuyabadilisha na yakawa mema.
Tunashukuru viongozi wote, tunashukuru viongozi wa dini waliotumia makanisa, waliotumia misikiti na waliokuwa wakiomba hata majumbani kuhakikisha amani ipatikane Kenya.
Vijana hatutachochewa tena, vijana tutazidi kudumisha amani, vijana tutaishi kwa upendo na vijana tutazidi kujikimu. Ni kutoa shukrani kuanzia youth, kuanzia mashirika mbalimbali, kuanzia wazee wa mtaa, mabalozi, village elders, ngao team yote, police kwa ile kazi ambayo walifanya. Nasema Mungu awabariki na tutaendelea kushirikiana kudumisha hiyo amani, ndio hii Kenya yetu endelee mbele.
Moving on, a total of 500 health workers spread across level 3, 4 and 5 hospitals are set to benefit from a 10-week maternal healthcare program. The participants for the project will be drawn from 8 counties, namely Kilifi, Kitui, Kakamega, Baringo, Nakuru, Samburu, Turkana and Taita Taveta. The initiative, which is a partnership between the Ministry of Health and Butterfly Network, a US-based digital health company, will deploy 500 handheld, whole-body portable ultrasound devices to healthcare practitioners. According to the Acting Director General, Ministry of Health, Dr. Patrick Amoth, who was represented by the alternate Secretary, Ministry of Health, Dr. Julius Ogato, Kenya is among countries with maternal, reproductive and neonatal health challenges. On his part, the Chief Strategy Officer of Butterfly Network, Darius Shahida, decried that many countries across Africa lack medical imaging equipment and training.
Diagnostic services. The Butterfly Networks will provide 500 Butterfly IQ plus ultrasound probes and iPad devices for 500 healthcare providers.
No longer is ultrasound prohibitively expensive, cumbersome, or disconnected. No longer do you need multiple probes to image a patient. More importantly, no longer do patients have to wait to get an exam, wait to see a specialist, and wait to get meaningful answers.
And so as a provider, who are there in the back of the room, as a provider, once you acquire this skill, this becomes almost like a superpower, kind of. It's like a sixth sense.
To the wonderful world of sports. Now, Football Kenya Federation Premier League clubs earlier today have made it clear that they will not take part in the 2022-2023 season if it will not be sanctioned by World Football Governing Body, FIFA. Speaking while addressing the media at the Westlands Park Inn Hotel, Gor Mahia CEO Raymond Oruo, who read the joint statement from the 18 top-flight clubs, said the teams will only honor fixtures when the current stalemate between FIFA and the Kenyan government is resolved. This comes in less than 24 hours after the embattled FKF president Nicholas Mwendwa returned back to the FKF headquarters, Kandanda House.
From this meeting today, and after consultation, we have unanimously resolved as Kenya Premier League clubs that we will not take part, the teams will not take part in any competition that is not recognized and sanctioned by the World Governing Body, FIFA, because it is then really a waste of investment and the time, and with very little return coming through. So what we are saying is that the 18 clubs of the Premier League have decided that we will only play, let me repeat again, we will only start playing the 2022-2023 season in a properly sanctioned FIFA sanctioned